we're gonna make some pinch pot animals today. And like it sounds, we're gonna start with a pinch pot. Here's an example of a plain pinch pot. To make a pinch pot, you're gonna squeeze the clay between your hands and then you're going to roll it. You're making a sphere. Once you have a sphere, you're gonna take one thumb with the clay in the opposite hand and push your thumb in, and then you start to pinch. So you can use 2, 3, or 4 fingers on the sides, but the thumb is in the middle and you're gently pinching and turning. And pretty quickly, you'll have what looks like a tiny pot. But we don't want to stop here. We want to decide what are we going to make it. So it's going to be an upside down pot that turns into an animal. And I have some examples. Got a lot of cats and dogs. This is a cat head. Here's a whole dog. He's got some nice texture carved into him. It's a little birdie, kind of looks like a penguin, but it could be any bird depending on how you color it. Another little doggy. All right, on the side over here, I have some laying down animals. I've got a fox that's laying down, so the pinch pot got stretched long instead of tall. And here's another long instead of tall dog. So you decide overall structure. Is it going to be a tall creature, a short creature? We got this little gerbil here. He's cute. I'm going to show you the bird. So for the bird, I want to make it a body and a head, and the head's going to be a little skinnier. So I'm pushing my thumb up, squeezing the outside, helping it move towards the shape that I want. Now, I want to try to pinch out everything as much as possible. I don't want to attach things if I don't have to. So like a bird, I know I want it to have a beak. So I'm going to use my pinchers and pull out some clay to make him a beak. Because if I try to attach a beak, there's a pretty good chance it's going to fall off when I cook it. Things are much more stable if I can make them from the original chunk of clay. Now wings, birds have wings. I'm going to pinch out some wings, and I could leave them open like that as if he's flying or has his flapping his wings, or I could fold them down. I can pinch out feet. I think I want to give this little guy a mohawk. Pinch out his mohawk. I could pinch out a tail. Now, I think I want to attach the eyes. You could just carve the eyes or even leave it blank and paint the eyes with the glaze on your eyes later. Here's some carved eyes. Here's some kind of pressed in eyes. They'll probably glaze that one. Some other carved eyes. This birdie has eyes that are attached and then a hole pressed in. So lots of options. But the important thing, if you're gonna add something, is to be really careful to score, slip, and smooth. So let's say I've got 2 pieces of clay. While it's wet clay, they're gonna stick so well together. So if you just attached these 2 together, you'd think this is gonna stay really nice. But when I cook it and all the water disappears, these shrink. And when they shrink, they pop apart because they shrink into their own little piece. So you have to make sure it's very well attached or your little eyeballs are gonna pop right off. So I'm gonna make 2 tiny eyeballs. And then I'm gonna score, slip, and smooth. So the scoring is roughing it up like Velcro. I'm gonna do some cross hatching on both parts. So think about Velcro shoes. Both sides of the Velcro have some texture. So I'm gonna rough it up. The slip can be either water or water mixed with clay. I just have some water. Put the water on it, and then I'm gonna smush them in there. All right, so that's already better than if I did nothing. But to make it even more strong, I'm gonna smooth the seams. So I'm gonna turn them around and use my finger to erase the line or the seam where it attaches. So if I do all that, I've got a pretty good chance that they won't fall off. There's no absolute guarantee, but it's a pretty good chance. You can add details, you can press in, like this little tool, you could use the back side, make them little feet, little toes, or you can use this side, you could scrape in or draw in some texture. You can do lots of different things, but you're starting with a pinch pot and then turning it upside down. Have fun.